Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20+ years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to show you how to place the air injection reaction pump, or A.I.R. pump, on this 2002 Chevy Impala, same as any 0005. This is an electronic pump. Tools you'll need are a flat blade screwdriver, 7 and 10 millimeter wrenches or sockets and ratchet, a T25 Torx bit with a ratchet, pliers, and you may need a drill and drill bit if you can't get one of those T25 screws out and you happen to strip the head, as I did in this.
Okay, if your engine light comes on and doesn't appear that anything's wrong with your engine, what you want to do is come in here, passenger side of your engine compartment. There's a relay box here. Release it on that side. Press and release. And there's a 30 amp fuse right here. Pull it out. Okay, and you can probably see that fuse is broken. Maybe not. See if we can focus on that. You can see that fuse is broken. So what you want to do is replace the fuse, see if the light goes out. If you replace it and it breaks again, then you need to replace your A.I.R. pump.
Start by lifting the car and secure it with a jack stand, and then remove your driver's front wheel.
There's 5 7mm bolts, 2 here on the wheel well, and then 3 underneath. I'll remove those.
Okay, we'll fast forward here. As we remove those, you can use either a 7mm wrench or a socket and ratchet.
And remove one more up higher here on the fender. There's another one up underneath here. You can just kind of pull out on your bumper cover and then pull this whole inner fender up kind of out of the way. And now you can see right back in here is your air pump. Okay, you want to remove these 2 10mm bolts.
Okay, and we'll fast forward here as we just remove those 2 10mm bolts. You can either use a wrench or, again, a socket and ratchet.
Okay, now you're going to take your headlight assembly out, which may sound difficult, but it's actually pretty easy. There's a little pin right over here. You pry the middle of the pin out, and then that allows the whole clip to come out. Then you lift up this panel, and there's a little white tab under here. You may need to pry it up with a screwdriver or some pliers. Just pull that tab up and off, and then there's a tab right here, up and off. And then your headlight comes right out. Okay, and then it disconnects. Just pull back on the little tab here. Disconnect there. And now there's a 10mm bolt right here. Remove that. And as you remove that, you can see your pump drops down. Then right here there's a connector. Okay, there's a little safety latch you got to pull out of there, and then push down on this tab and disconnect. Okay, now there's a couple of hoses that hook into it. This one here is the intake. So you should just be able to pull it right off. Okay. And that leaves this one here, which I believe you can just pull up And to the side on this clip here, pull that clip off, and now disconnect that, and then pull the pump and bracket out right through the other side. Okay, so here's our original pump, a new pump from 1A Auto. Okay, so obviously we have to switch some stuff over here. So what we're going to do is push sideways there first, and then push those out. Okay. Now we can take these, so we're going to kind of hold this the same way here. Take these rubber grommets out, put them into our new one. You can see we have the same connector. Okay, so these are T20 Torx screws. So I've got a T20 Torx bit with an extension and a ratchet. First I'm going to spray these with a little bit of penetrating oil.
Okay, now turn the pump over, and there's 4 T20 Torx screws. I'm sorry, there's T25 Torx screws, and most of the time, as you'll see, you just break them off and the new pump comes with new screws. And here one of my screws stripped, so I'm just hooking up a drill bit to my high-speed drill, and I'll drill the head right off. I start doing it here, then I just transfer it over into a vise and finish the job just to make it easier. And now just use a flat blade screwdriver and gently pry the plastic housing away from the pump.
Oh boy.
There, I'm just realizing what the problem is. There's a piece of something, acorn or something, wedged into the old motor, and it's made it all frozen up. And so now I'm just prying it out and just going to throw that motor away. Now we need to remove the old gasket from the housing and then replace it with the new one. Okay, and now we'll take the new motor and join it with the housing, hold it together, and start in the 4 new screws, and then I'll speed it up as we put in those screws and tighten them up nice and snug. And now we'll rejoin the motor and housing assembly with the mounting bracket. Okay, reinstallation is a reverse of the procedure. I'm going to kind of go a little quicker through it just to keep this a little on the short side. I do check the hoses, make sure there's no other acorns or anything else in there that could get plugged into the new housing. Then put it up in, start the front bolt that you can see right from the headlight opening, and then connect the large hose, which is the intake. It has no clip on it, and then the smaller hose, which goes to the exhaust manifolds. Connect it and pinch the clip and tighten it up. Okay, now here I'm reaching in on the other side and just starting one of the bolts, one of the other bracket bolts. That just gets the bracket up in the right spot, and then I can tighten up that front bolt and now reconnect my lead and clip it back onto the mounting bracket. With the bracket tightened up, the hose is reconnected, and the electrical lead reconnected, I can then reconnect my headlight and put it into place and make sure that I put that plastic down and pin it back in. And now underneath, start in the other mounting bolt and then tighten those up. Okay, now put the inner fender back into place. It goes inside of the bumper cover. And now just work all the bolts in. I start with that inner one first, and then I start all the other 7mm bolts, and then tighten them up. And you don't want to be extremely tight with these. You just want them to get it so they're holding everything in place and nothing's rattling or shaking. Okay, put the wheel back in place and start all your lug nuts by hand. You want to do this to avoid cross-threading the lug nuts. Then here I preliminarily tighten the lug nuts with my impact wrench. Now here with the vehicle on the ground, you want to tighten those lug nuts up to about 100 foot-pounds. Use a kind of crossing star pattern as you're tightening, and then replace your cap. Last but not least, you want to make sure that you have a good fuse in your air relay slot, and then if this is what your problem is, your engine light should go out after about a dozen to 20 cycles of the key. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.